Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm so excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a review and 2 looks with the new Kaleidos Futurism 5 Electro-Turquoise Palette. I was so excited about this because I received the 2 new palettes from them, which I'll show you a little sneak peek of this one in PR, and I got the package and I wasn't sure if I was allowed to talk about it yet, and I was just like freaking out, but it was just internal freaking out because I couldn't tell anyone, I couldn't show anyone. I showed my mom, she didn't care, so I was like, oh, I can't wait till people see these because they are so beautiful. Like when I opened the package, I was just like, these color schemes. So I was so excited. This is the one that caught my eye the most, so that's the one I decided to film with first. So like I said, today I'm going to be doing a review and 2 looks, and then I will try and film with this one next. So hopefully that video will be coming very, very, very soon. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not promising, but I will try to have a review and 2 looks up with this the day after you see this one. I keep telling myself I'm going to upload less. I'm going to upload less. Fewer videos, more thought put into each video. Like I keep telling myself to calm down, but then like things come and I just I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it so much. So that goal is not being reached right now, but this is the palette and it is stunning. I will show you the inside. Here's what it looks like. So Kaleidos does all these palettes that are all 6 pans, and they have this really cool foldable kind of packaging. So this one is, it feels, gosh, I don't even know what to call this, but it feels very, very soft and is sleek and shiny. So it's definitely a different texture than their original palettes, which are all kind of like a soft matte kind of feeling to them. And this one has like little gemstone looking things here as well. So it's very, very cute. I think the packaging looks really nice. I like the soft matte a lot, but this makes sense for like a summer release. It does feel very, very summery. So both of these palettes are a limited edition. They're a summer release. They're going to be launching August 13th, and I believe that they retail for $24 each. Like I kind of mentioned already, I did receive these as PR just to keep it transparent. So this color scheme, just to talk you through it a little bit more, is like turquoise with a pop of orange. It's like the opposite of what every other company ever does, which is really fun. And then the VR neon one is a neon palette. So you've got like a really bright red, an orange, a yellow, and a green. And then there's this pink metallic, which almost has a little bit of a purple shift to it. And then there's this like really yellowy, orangey metallic, but it doesn't really look like a gold. Like it has a lot of vibrancy to it. So this one, I think it's beautiful and I can't wait to use it, but it kind of reminded me of like a mini rainbow palette. It reminded me a little bit of like the Melt radioactive stack, kind of those vibes. So I was excited about this one. I thought it was pretty, but the one, like I said, that really caught my attention was the turquoise, electro-turquoise, because I just think it's so unique. I feel like my hair looks a little bit crazy, but I always braid it so that it'll be wavy the next morning. So that's why it looks this way, because I'm filming kind of late at night. But I'm just going to go ahead and jump on into reviewing this palette. And I thought the easiest way I can do this is probably just to go through shade by shade. Ooh, look, okay, I'm not sure if the palette is supposed to do this, but I made it full backwards. So the first shade here is a deep, deep, deep brown. It is so rich. I really appreciate that being here. I feel like it adds a lot of dimension. It really goes with the other colors, and I just feel like something about this color scheme to me is so aesthetically pleasing. I also feel like it gives you the option to do a really quick kind of neutral look and throw the orange, even though the orange is very bright, into the crease, and then the brown for a little bit of definition. So I do really appreciate it being here, and I don't remember them having a super deep brown in the other 3 palettes that they have, so I like that there doesn't seem to be repeat shades, and I think that'll bring just a lot of dimension. I really appreciate it. I guess I'll just, for the heck of it, I was going to insert swatches while I talk, but maybe I'll just do some live swatches just to show you the intensity. So there's a nice little look at that brown. It is super, super smooth. So I really love the matte shades. I feel like they're pigmented and creamy. They blend easy. Like they're super soft and they're just really, really nice. I really appreciate them. I have nothing bad to say about the mattes. So then there is like this really deep teal shade, which is really stunning. I feel like it comes off a little bit lighter than it looks in the pan, but it still is really, really beautiful, and it adds a little bit of dimension while keeping it blue. So if you wanted to make it darker, you could add the brown in, but you could also just do a blue look, or I say blue, but it's blue and green mixed together. You could do that, a monochromatic type of look using this shade, which I really appreciate. There's how it swatches, just doing really quick swatches. So next is this metallic. The moment I swatched this, I literally died because their metallics are so buttery and foiled. It's crazy. And this is just the most beautiful mix between a blue and a green. And it's got a little bit of like, I don't know, almost, it doesn't look like it in the pan, but the way that it looks on the eye, it looks like it almost has a little bit of like a gold shift in it. It's just stunning. Like, watch this. Watch this. Look at that. Like, I barely touched it. I'm going to do a little bit more just to give you guys a good swatch. But it is so buttery and beautiful. I have this all over my lid today, and it's stunning. I feel like that swatch doesn't even do it justice. It is just so intense and crazy, and just, it's so beautiful. I will say that I find there to be more sparkles in this than there, I need a baby wipe. Anyways, what I was saying is that I find there to be more sparkles in their metallics in this palette in comparison to the other palettes that I have from them. I find them to be more like straight up metallics. So because of that little difference, I mean, I think it's beautiful. I appreciate it, like the dimension and the texture on my lid. I'm living for it. But I do find that the shimmers in here give a lot of fallout. And it's kind of the fallout that when you get it stuck to your face, like it doesn't want to wash away. It's not as bad with the blue because I was pretty careful. I tapped off my brush and I used a brush, which I found, and I used a flat brush, which I thought worked really well for it, so it wasn't too bad. But I still have a few tiny blue sparkles sitting on my skin. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's not something you can see unless you're really like up close in my face, but I did want to mention it. So next we have the orange here, which is so fun. I just, I don't know. I know, like, logically it doesn't exactly go together, like the warm and the cool, and you have to be careful mixing orange and blue so it doesn't get muddy, but I just think the contrast is so visually stunning, so I really love that the orange is there. It's really pretty. It's a very, very bright orange, though. Like, I feel like you have to build this one up a little bit more. I do find it to be a bit more sheer. You'll have more luck if you go in with a denser brush, but I mean, it kind of works that it's sheer because it helps if you're blending something out be a little bit softer. I could see the reasoning for that. I'm just going to go ahead and double swatch this one. But it has a ton of vibrancy to it. It reminds me of like, what's that orangey, there's like an orangey drink. It's something tang, orange tang, fruit tang. Also, when you wipe it off, it kind of makes me think of like Cheetos or Doritos fingers or something, just like that kind of really, really vibrant orange. So I think it's really fun. Like I said, if you're a beginner and you don't quite understand color theory and you're like, I'm going to put this orange in my crease and I'm going to use the blue to deepen it up, you're probably going to get a little bit of brown in between, and you have to be really careful how you blend them because they don't exactly go together. You had to be kind of careful. Like for me, the way I wanted to use them was to kind of keep them on separate parts of my eye, and I felt like that gave the contrast and it's beautiful without getting that like muddiness. So next, I love this shade so much, is a like really beautiful soft turquoise matte. But again, this one has such vibrancy to it. It's crazy, and it's definitely really pigmented, very, very creamy. Like, look at that. Look at that. It is so beautiful. So I really, really appreciate that shade, and I think it makes stunning monochromatic tones when you use these three shades here together. All right, last but not least is this shade right here, which is a really beautiful, very, 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 very sparkly white shade. I would say I appreciate it because it is really beautiful, but I would never use this shade again without a glitter glue because it does have a ton of fallout, and it's a little bit, I don't know, I don't even know if I would say looser. Like, it's still soft and like metallic, but it has so much sparkle in it that I would just be really, really, really careful with that shade. It looks so beautiful swatched out, but it can be a little messy, and it's kind of funny because I was in a rush with my first look that I did. It was a super, super simple, quick look, and I used this, and like I put it all over my lid with my finger because I was like having a lazy moment, and then I was like, oh crap, because I had sparkles everywhere, and I was like, I'm trying to leave in like 5 minutes, so I was like doing everything, like trying to use a brush to wipe it off, which didn't work, and then I was like putting extra powder on and then like spraying mist over it so that it didn't look powdery. I was doing all the things to make it not look like I had glitter everywhere, not even that I was going to see anyone important, but it was just funny that the one day I'm like in a rush and I'm like ready to leave and I'm like, I'm gonna do a quick little simple look, and then I have like glitter everywhere because this glitter, like it literally was like all over my forehead. It got literally everywhere. So today I used it, and I used it with a glitter glue, and I had no problems. So that's definitely what I would recommend with this one. I mean, I don't know if you can tell just looking at the texture. It's very, very sparkly, and when you apply it like this, at least on my skin tone, it kind of ends up looking a little bit sheer just with like a bunch of sparkles because of the tone of it. So I think it's really beautiful. It makes a stunning inner corner highlight. I like it, but be warned, glitter glue needed. So there's what the shades look like up close. If anyone knows things about cameras, I would love to hear your thoughts. Sometimes my camera recently, when I try to get it to focus, it almost looks like it's like blinking. Not blinking exactly, but it has like a little like blacky flash, and it's just like when I'm trying to get it closer and to focus, and it never did that before. So I don't know if it's because it's getting old, because I've had it for I want to say almost 5 years, and it was a refurbished camera. I mean, I bought it directly through Canon as refurbished, but I don't know if that's like a sign that like death is down the road. That'd be really good to know so I could be prepared, but I'm just curious because it never did that in the past. So anyways, as far as my thoughts on the palette go, I'm gonna give this an A- because actually, I'm gonna give it an A+. I'm gonna give it an A+. I'm like an A- because my only gripe is just that the shimmers can be a little bit messy, but I love glitter glue. Like, I'm obsessed with it now, so it's not even a big deal for me. For someone else, maybe it'll be an A- if you don't like messiness. But I'm just going to give it an A+ because I love the packaging for one. I think it is so beautiful, and it stands out, and I love that they're doing their own thing. I love that they're doing a 6-pan palette. I don't know, I just really think that's a good amount of shades where you can keep it curated but also have a good amount of variety. And then I just love the color scheme so much. I'm so inspired by it. There's still so much more I want to do here, and I'm like, I wish I had the time to do a really dramatic eye and maybe do, well, that's pretty basic. I was thinking it'd be really fun to do like a neutral a neutral crease with a blue lid. A blue cut crease lid basically was what I was thinking, with like the sparkly white on the inside and like going like a little gradient. That's the look I have in my mind, but I just don't have time to do that right now. But either way, I still feel inspired by this, and I feel like this is something to where you could go neutral, you could go blue, and you could go a little bit of both like I did today, which, well, actually this is probably a lot for some people, but I don't know, I feel inspired when I look at it, which is really important for me, especially when it's a small color scheme, because sometimes I'll get a palette that's like 5, 6, 4 shades, and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful, but then I do 2 looks with it, and I'm like, what else do I really want to do with this palette? So this I just look at, and there's still so much more on my mind. I think it's stunning. And then the formula, matte blend, easy, no problems. I'm obviously, like, I just put this on my eyes, so I'm not speaking of today's experience, but the look I did before, I wore all day, and it was like a long day, and it lasted beautifully. It was still vibrant by the end of the day, and also just from my experience using their other shadows, I've had no problems with lasting power. And then for the metallics, even though, like I said, they're a little messy, they're so beautiful. For me, it's worth it. Like, I could literally like take a bath and just swatch this shade all over my body because it is so So stunning. I love it. It's so beautiful. The only thing that I don't love is that it's limited edition, but overall, I really, really enjoy it. So that's my thoughts on the palette. If you want to see the two looks that I did, then let's go ahead and jump on into that. Alright, so jumping right on into the first look, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the orange right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and use that in my crease. Ooh, that's pretty bright. For my transition, crease, everything in that area kind of shade. This is the only thing I'm going to be going in with for my crease. So just going to blend that out as much as possible. Right now I'm going to go into the brown right here, and I'm going to use that on my outer V just to add some depth to this look. I barely tapped in the pan. That's a lot of pigment. That is a really, really rich brown. I'm going to go back into my previous brush and just use that to blend out the edge there. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take the sparkly white shade right here, and I'm just going to use my finger to pick that up just to make it a little bit quicker, and I'm going to put that, ooh, that is so sparkly and pretty. I'm going to put that all over my lid. This would probably apply really well over a glitter glue just because it has a lot of sparkle in it. Oops. Yeah, fell out. Oops. Okay, I've got sparkles everywhere. I'm gonna go in with my previous brush and just kind of blend the crease so there's not as much sparkle up there. But it's definitely a little bit messy. Actually gonna go with some extra powder underneath my eyes just to try and help the sparkle situation. I have sparkle all the way up here too. Look like I could be a Cullen. So for my lower lash line, I really want to do a pop of blue, of course, with this palette. So I'm going to go ahead and take this matte shade first, and I'm just going to run that along my lower lash line. Alright, so that's pretty much all I was planning to do for the eyeshadow. I just wanted to do something simple. I like it except for the fact that there's glitter literally everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and use the LA Girl Glide Gel Pencil in the shade Mermaid Blue. Throw on my mascara, and then I'll be right back. Right, for highlighter today, I'm going to go into Ofra Pillow Talk, and just going to softly highlight my cheekbones. I was originally planning to go in with that white shade from the palette as a highlight, but it is just way too glittery to do that. Even, I mean, I don't mind a glittery highlight, but I think that it's the kind of glitter where it would be everywhere. I mean, it already is everywhere just from applying to one tiny, tiny section. So I'm going to leave it as an eyeshadow and not using it for highlight. However, I am going to go ahead and use a little pencil brush to add some of Pillow Talk as my inner corner highlight. And then for lips, I'm just going to leave them as is. I went in with the coconut juice infused lip oil from Ulta Beauty, which I absolutely love. It's so, so comfortable. I just wanted to do a really quick, simple, I'm in a rush type of look starting off with this palette. The next one I do is probably going to be a little bit more dramatic. So I hope you enjoyed this look. Now let's go ahead and jump into look number 2. Alright, so for today's look, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the lighter matte turquoise. And I'm going to pop that right into my crease. And then just gently blend outwards in circular motions. Alright, now I'm grabbing the deeper matte teal right here, and I'm going to pop that onto my outer V and just blend that in. Again, just blending in really soft circular motions. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take my previous brush and just blend out the edges between the lighter blue and the darker blue, or I should say turquoise, because it's right in between a blue and a green. It's not a true blue, it's not a true green. It's that really pretty in between. Who am I, Dr. Seuss? I'm going to go ahead and do my mattes for my lower lash line now, just to get it out of the way. So I'm going to start off with the deeper brown right here on a little smudgy brush, and I'm just going to put that on like the outer third of the lower lash line for a little bit of depth, but I'm not going to bring it in further than that. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take this orange right here, And wait, actually I'm gonna wipe off my brush just a little bit so it's not contaminated, and then pick up some of that really, really bright matte orange, and I'm gonna pop that onto, okay, I barely picked up any, I was being too gentle. Gonna pop that onto the front part of my lower lash line. All right, now of course I have to go into this really, really beautiful blue right here. I'm just using it on a flat shadow brush, which I mean, even on the brush, the way it picked up, it looks so stunning. Just, oh, it's so pretty. Gonna go ahead and put that all over my lid. Oh my goodness. The moment I swatched this shade, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. It is so beautiful. So I'm just gonna fill in like the first 2/3 of my lid with that, and then right as I get here, I'm just going to pat it to blend in a little bit. I did get just a tiny little bit of fallout from that shade. Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna grab a tiny, tiny little touch of that shade on my finger and just tap that onto the lid for maximum intensity. I really want to use a sparkly shade on my inner corner, but I'm going to go ahead and use some glitter glue first. So I've been testing out the Give Me Glow Cosmetics glitter glue, so I'm going to use that today. Picking that up with my brush, and I'm just going to split that between my two inner corners, just dabbing it on, and then I'll give it a moment to get tacky. And then I'm just going to go ahead and dab that on. Super sparkly. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eyes by popping the Linda Hallberry Likeable Mood pencil on my waterline, and then using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Alright, so for highlighter today, I went ahead and pulled out my JD Glow highlighter in the shade Synopsis because it has a really pretty blue shift to it. Look at that glow. And then for lips, I'm just going to finish off with the Marc Jacobs lip gloss in the shade Cream and Sugar. Alright, so this is the second look with the palette, and I really love how it turned out. I feel like it's kind of unexpected, and I wouldn't think to do all these beautiful turquoises on the lid and then the pop of orange on the lower lash line. So I really, really love the combination. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and getting to hear my thoughts on the new Kaleidos palette, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!